Yeah. Today, let us step in another topic from grammar, which is most important and which plays a pivotal role in answering all kinds of questions in the competitive examination, and it also it also plays a vital role in making the sentences in spoken English. If you ask me what is the important topic after tenses in grammar, that is voice, right? So there are some situations where we have to only express in passive voice. We cannot use active voice in such situations, but only passive voice. What are the situations that we can only use passive voice? And how an active voice is turned into passive voice, right? And how a passive voice turned into active voice. What actually voice is, and what actually active voice, and what is passive voice. Let us have a detailed discussion on this topic today. Let us start the topic today. As you know, of course, this is very simple topic you are all familiar with. But I try to give a complete introduction, a complete explanation about voice. One more time. Of course, you have learnt active voice and passive voice in your schooling and +2 and degree or BTech or PG program. Of course, in the PG program, if it is not specialized, grammar is not included in any PG program, even MA English, right? So let us have a discussion on it. There are two kinds of voice. They are active voice and passive voice. Active voice is subject is the doer of the action. Subject is the doer of the action in active voice. And passive voice, subject is the receiver of the action. There may be two agents in a sentence. There may be two agents in a sentence. One is the receiver of the action and other is the doer of the action, right? For example, in the sentence given below, I teach English, right? So in this sentence, I is the doer of the action. I, doer. What is it doing? Teaching. I teach. And English is the receiver of the action, right? It is English is receiving. Okay. And when it comes to passive voice, subject is the receiver. In the active voice, object. This is English is the object, right? English is the object. In active voice, English is the receiver. Object is the receiver, right? In passive voice, subject is the receiver. I teach English. English is taught by me. So action is being received to subject. Some action is being done to subject here. Some action is being done to subject here, right? Here doer of the action is object. Me. Me is the object in this sentence, right? So it is doer. You try to remember this one, right? And passive voice is required for the following context. where passive voice is used. Though we have active voice to express anything in English, then why do we again need passive voice? Because there are certain situations where we can only use passive voice. For example, it is used when the doer of the action is unknown, right? Passive voice is used when the doer of action is unknown. Some action is done, right? Who did it, we don't know. But we have to express, we have to say something is done. How? It is possible only in passive voice. For example, see, my pen was stolen. Who stole the pen is unknown. I don't know who stolen my pen, but I need to say my pen was stolen. My pen was stolen by someone. Of course, we can add by someone, but need not to use when um, the person, right, who stole it, who did it, is not known. Need not to use by someone, by somebody, right? Need not to use. So I just want to say my pen was stolen. That's it. నా పెన్ను దొంగిలించబడింది by somebody. ఎవరు నాకు తెలియదు. Right? So it is something like this. My pen was stolen. And next occasion, next situation. When doer of action is well known. When doer of action is well known, then the situation is expressed in passive voice most occasionally, most generally, most usually. For example, a thief was arrested. Generally, who arrests the thief? Police. So it is much better to use a thief was arrested than police arrested a thief. Police arrested a thief is somehow odd one. It is somehow odd. But the general usage, the usual usage, the common usage is a thief was arrested. It is better to say. Okay. Next, when doer of action is kept in secrecy, we know the doer of the action, but we don't want to reveal uh, the person, the doer of the action, right? So even in that situations, we use passive voice. For example, an important information was collected. Important information was collected. Who collected it? We don't know. Of course, we know, but we don't want to reveal. Information regarding, the crime or information regarding the leakage of the paper, right? So we know, but we don't want to reveal. We don't want to let the cat out of the box, out of the bag, right? So in that situations, we use passive voice. Important information was collected. That's it. By me, by you, by her, by him. No, when we don't want to let the cat out of the bag. So let the cat out of the bag means reveal the secret. It is an idiom. Let the cat out of the bag is an idiom which means reveal the secret. So when we don't want to let the bag out of the cat out, don't want to let the cat out of the bag, then we use passive voice. Okay. In these three contexts, we use passive voice instead of active voice. So that we need to learn passive voice. So that the setters of the competitive examination almost focus on these situations, right? These three situations. The following steps are used in order to change an active voice into passive voice. Actually, it is not our actual subject to discuss, because you cannot be asked You cannot be asked in IBPS examination to convert an active voice into passive voice, or an active voice into passive voice, or a passive voice into active voice. But unless we do not know, unless we know how to convert an active voice into passive voice or a passive voice into active voice, we cannot identify the given options, either active voice or passive voice. If active voice is given as a question, they will ask you identify a similar sentence which gives the similar meaning from the following options. So then you have to identify passive voice of that given active voice, or vice versa. It means active voice for the given passive voice. So let us have a just a nutshell discussion. Nutshell discussion. Nutshell means brief. A nutshell discussion on how to convert an active voice into passive voice. Right? There are six steps involved in this process. Let us have a look at it. First step. See, subject, verb, object are identified. See here in this sentence, I took the same example. I learn English. Okay, I learn English. Subject, I, verb, English, right? Learn verb, English object. First step is this. Second step, object is changed as subject, right? So when object is written in the initial position of the subject, then it is known as subject. Initial position of the sentence is known as subject, right? So English is changed as subject because it is written in the initial position of the sentence, so it is recognized as subject. Okay. Third one, according to the tense, be form is used. Be forms are helping verbs. They are be and am, is, or, and was, were. Okay. Be and am, is, or, and was, were. Okay. And other be forms also there. We will learn in course of time. Okay. Like have been, has been, had been, will be, shall be, can be, may be, right? Will have been, shall have been, can have been, might have been. Okay. So these are all be forms. As a tabular form, I'll just prepare the tabular form. I'll show you that. So what is the third step? According to the tense, be form is used. Am I a bit slow in explanation, or my frequency of explanation is a bit fast or a bit slow, or it's okay with you? Will you please respond?
It's extremely fine, sir.
Okay, thank you. According to the tense, be form is used. See, English is, I used be form is here. Why? Because this tense is in simple present. How do we know it is in simple present? Subject, V1, learn is V1, object. So it is simple present. So in the simple present, be forms are am, is, are. Be forms are am, is, are. Okay. So I used is. Why? Because here subject is English. English is represented as a pronoun it. So goes with is because it is singular. So I used is. And fourth step, main verb is changed into past participle, that is V3. Main verb is changed into past participle, that is V3. Okay. What is the main verb in the sentence? Learn, right? So the past participle form of learn is learned or learned. Learned is British language. Learnt is American language. Either we can use. So English is learnt or learned, right? And the fifth step is preposition by is used. Most commonly, preposition by is used, but other prepositions are also used in the place of by according to the context, according to the situation, based on the verb is used in the sentence. We use other prepositions also in the place of by. How it is that we will learn in course of time. Okay, preposition by is used. See the fifth step, English is learned by, right? Fifth step, English is learned by. Okay, sixth step, subject is changed as object. So subject, what is the subject? Me, sorry, I. When it turns into object, then it becomes me. See here. So English is learned by me. Subject is changed as object. So these 6 steps should be involved in changing an active voice into passive voice every time. Whatever the statement, whatever the sentence you take, these six steps should be involved. Otherwise, your process of making or process of converting an active voice into passive voice might be wrong unless you use these 6 steps. Okay. Now, there is a note. Let us see what it is. The main verb of the active voice sentence should be transitive verb to change into passive voice. Intransitive verb cannot be changed into passive voice. Okay. So here is a statement, important note we have. What is the note? The main verb in the sentence, the main verb in the sentence, right? This is should be which verb? Transitive verb. Which it should not be intransitive verb. Intransitive verb cannot be changed into passive voice. It should be only transitive verb. Okay, remember this. What is transitive? What is intransitive? Let us learn gradually. Okay, so when a sentence is given, to transform it into active passive voice, in that sentence, verb should be transitive, right? Verb should be transitive. Verb should not be intransitive because intransitive verb cannot be changed into passive voice. Okay, then what is transitive verb? What is transitive verb? When we question the verb in active voice by using WH words like what or whom, when we get an answer, and that is known as transitive verb. Let me make you clear this one. See, um, see, when we question the verb in active voice, so when the question is, so this is the sentence. This is the sentence. We question the verb in active voice, right? What is the verb? Learn here, right? So we question the verb, main verb in the active voice. With what? Two WH words. What are they? What or whom? We can question either with what or whom. Okay. So any one of them we can use to question the main verb in the active voice. Okay. So when we question, if we get an answer and the answer is known as transitive verb, the answer, if we get an answer, that is a transitive verb. Okay. See, for example, I learn English is a sentence here, right? See, I question this. I learn what? Actually, uh, this kind of statement is wrong to question. The exact question is like, what do I learn? What do I learn? Actually, this is the exact actual question form. But I simply just in spoken, I just simply used I learned what. What is the note? We need to question the main verb in active voice. So I question with the word what. I learn what. So do we get answer? Of course, yes. I learn what? There is an English. There is a word English. So learn is transitive verb. Okay. And there is another word, WH word. If you ask me, do we again question with also the word whom? No. Any one we need to use. Of course, if you can, the word use, the word whom to use, right, to question, we may not get any answer. For example, say, I learn whom. As a question, I learn what. If I use here instead of what, I learn whom. Can we get the answer? No. It's a ridiculous question. Okay. But we got the answer for this. So learn is a transitive verb. And see here, one more example. I teach you, right? So we need to learn whether teach is transitive verb or not. We need to know whether teach is transitive verb or not. How? Again by using what or whom. Let me question first. I teach what? I teach what? No answer. In this sentence, of course, we will get answer. But here, no. I teach what? No, because you is there. We don't get answer, any answer when we use what. But I teach whom? You. I teach whom? You. So we got answer. So that teach is the transitive verb. Right? See, um, right now, if you are confused with this two examples and with this statement, then let us have a look at it in transitive verb. Then you will be clarified. I can assure. See, when we question the verb in active voice by using WH words like what or whom, if we don't get an answer, that is known as intransitive verb. For example, see, she goes to school. She goes to school. What is the main verb here? Goes. Now question. She goes what? She goes what? No answer. Do we get answer? No. Absolutely no. But one more word we have to use. That is whom. She goes whom? Eh? Ridiculous. A silly question, right? She goes whom? Why? Whom means ever any. She goes whom? No. No answer. But now question with where? She goes where? She goes where? To school. We got answer. But when we use where, but as per the note, as per the rule, we can't use where. We should only use what or whom. So we didn't get any answer here, so that it is intransitive. So I think you come to conclusion that what intransitive and what transitive verb is. Okay. Let us also discuss one more example. They are walking towards the town. They are walking towards the town. See, they are walking what? Ridiculous, silly question. Let us take one more word, other word. They are walking whom? It is also silly question. But they are walking where? Or they are walking to what place? Towards the town. But we only should use either what or whom. For that, no answer. So it is intransitive. Now let me question you. Um, eat is a transitive verb or intransitive verb? Tell me. Unmute yourself and tell me. Eat is transitive verb or intransitive verb? I'm asking you. Let us make a
Sir, Without a
Yeah.
sentence, how we can say that word is a transitive verb or not?
Okay. You can say either it is transitive or intransitive. So if sentence is not given, then you can say it can be either transitive or intransitive. For example, I eat a mango.
Transitive
I
verb.
eat a mango. Transitive, right?
Yes, sir.
I eat now.
Yes.
I eat here. I eat here. Now eat is transitive or intransitive?
Transitive.
I eat here. I eat
No,
here.
intransitive.
Intransitive. So we cannot get answer. We cannot get answer. So that it is intransitive. I eat what? No answer. I eat whom? No answer. I eat where? Answer is there. Here. But there we cannot use where the word. The word where. Only what or whom. Okay. Now let us continue. Um, the two verbs goes and walk in the above sentences are intransitive verbs as they do not have any object. So one more way of learning that whether the verb is transitive or intransitive, that is, if when we get answer, that is transitive. When we do not get answer, that is intransitive. And what is the object? How do we identify object in the sentence? So because without identifying object, we cannot change that object as subject. As second role we have, as second step we have, right? What is second step? Object is changed as subject. Object is changed as subject. So without identifying what object in the sentence, we cannot change that object into subject. If there are only three words, it is okay. If there are many words, how can we, for example, let me write a sentence here. Um, she is she is preaching the Gita at present. She is teaching the Gita at present. So do we think always the word which is used at last as an object? No, never. Whatever the word that is given, that is used at the end of the sentence is not an object, right? So what is the object? How do we get object? How do we recognize an object? Because again, questioning what, whom. She is preaching what? The Gita. Okay. She is preaching what? The Gita. So Gita is the answer. The answer is the object. Whatever the answer we get, and the answer itself is object. Okay. Remember. Now the change of pronoun from active voice into passive voice. I think we have discussed this one already when we discussed pronoun. Okay. Subjective pronoun, objective pronoun, possessive pronoun, reflective pronoun. There are four types of pronouns, four forms of pronouns: subjective form, objective form, possessive form, reflexive form. Four forms we discussed. Okay. Subject I becomes me as object. Subject me becomes us as object. Subject you again as object. Subject he becomes him. She becomes her. It becomes it. They becomes them. These are important. Okay. In transforming an active voice into passive voice or passive voice into active voice. Now, the change of B forms from active voice into passive voice. It is very, very important. This is only important. This is only important when you remember this entire table. When you remember this entire table, then you are said that you have command over active voice and passive voice, because this is very, very important. See, when structure is given like this: subject V1 object. The structure of passive voice is subject am is or V3 by object. See how it is. Let me tell you. This object is changed as subject. This object is changed as subject. Second sentence, second step, as per the tense, B forms are used. Right? If subject is singular, is used. If subject is I, am is used. If subject is we, you, they, are is used. Okay, this is B form. And third step, the main verb here in active voice, main verb is changed as V3, past participle, right? And fifth, this is fourth one. Fifth step, preposition by is used. Sixth step, subject is changed as object. Okay, subject is changed as object. Is my cursor seen when I move it? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Again, see this one. Subject V2 object. Subject V2 object. Again, object is changed as subject. B forms was were used when V2 is used. It is past tense. It is present. It is simple past. It is simple present. When simple present is, I just, instead of tense, I use just structure. Okay. Instead of tense, I just used structure. V2. When V2 is used, then B forms are was were. Again V3, again by, again object. When will, shall, V1 are used in active voice. Subject same, object same, by same, V3 same. See, you can identify here. You can see here in every sentence there is subject, 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 right? Object at the end. Here in passive voice, this is important. Every sentence subject, every sentence V3, 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 V3. Every sentence by. Every sentence, right? Object, 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 object. But what are being changed? What are being changed? Only B forms. Only B forms. Here will, shall. Apart from will, shall, I mean including will, shall, extra B is used. Right? Will be, shall be. When subject structure is this, this is present continuous. When structure is this is the passive voice structure. Subject again, am is are again, being extra. Why it is used, we will learn, we will come to know in course of time. I'll tell you today itself. Why this? V3 by object. So if was were before, this is past continuous. Then passive voice structure is was were, including was were, being extra. When have or has are used in active voice, I mean present, it is present perfect. Then including have, has, been extra used. When had is used, been. Will have, shall have, right? Of course, can have, may have also used. V3, when they are used, including shall have, will have, extra, been. Short form of this entire table is given here. See, short form. Short form of this tabular form is this table form. When V1 is given, when you identify V1 in active voice, am is are used. It is enough to remember only am is are, because subject V3 by object same for every sentence. So it is enough to remember am is are when V1 is given in active voice. When V2 is given, was were. When am is are, was were given, being. When am is are, was were given in active voice, being in passive voice. including this being. When, have, has, had, will have, shall have, again been. It is much enough to remember these four, I think three or four sections. Enough. Four columns. Sorry, four. What it is? It is known as. Um, this is column, right? This is vertical. Vertical section is column. This is row, right? So four rows enough to remember to transform any active sentence into passive sentence. Okay. Now, tense by tense, we change the active voice into passive voice. Now, simple present. I just have taken very simple sentences at first in the beginning. Later on, we will come to know some complicated, some complex sentences to change. Right? She speaks English. English is spoken by her. How? English subject object is changed as subject. According to tense, V form is used. Speaks V1 or V5 is used because English is a subject. Speaks V1 should be transformed into V3 spoken. After V3 by. Later she becomes her because here subject, here object. She becomes her. So you should remember this table and this table. Then it is okay. You can transform. Now they eat bananas. Right? Bananas, subject, verb, object are identified. Subject is they, verb is uh, verb is eat, bananas is object. So bananas are. Here are is used. Why? Bananas is the plural form. It is represented by they as pronoun. So they go with are. So bananas are. Eat becomes eaten, V3. Then by. They becomes them. This is positive sentence. Then what about negative sentence? He does not answer a question. He does not answer a question. Right? Here, what are the subjects? What is the subject? What is the verb? And what is the object? See, he is a subject. Right? Answer is verb. Question is object. Right? And does not is remaining part of the sentence. Okay? It is known as just our simplification. We can remember this as remaining part of the sentence. Okay, now see how it is. A question is the object. Is it really a question is object? If we doubt it, then again go to the question form. He does not answer what? A question. He does not answer what? A question. So what is the answer that we get? That is the object. So a question object is changed as subject, a question. Right? Is. Why is again? Here we used does, but here is why? Because V1. The same formula. V1 am is are. Irrespective of does, do, did. Right? If V1 am is are. Okay? Remember. So a question subject is verb because of V1 not. Not should be used because here not is used. This is negative sentence. So that we should use again negative word. When negative word, where negative word is used after helping verb. We cannot use a question not is, right? So that we use a question is not. Again, answer is verb. Converted into V3. Answered. After V3, by. After by, subject, he becomes him. Okay. So this is interrogative sentence. Sorry, negative sentence. Now, interrogative sentence. How do we change interrogative sentence? In order to change an interrogative sentence into passive voice, helping verb is placed before the subject in passive voice. In order to change an interrogative sentence into passive voice, helping verb should be given in interrogative sentences, right? And that is given before the subject, even in active voice. We have come to know in tense topic, right? In every interrogative sentence, helping verb is placed before the subject, even in active voice and also passive voice. See here, does Razu help you? Does Razu help you? See, again, first step, Razu is the subject, help is the verb, you is the object, right? Razu help whom? You. So you is the object. Okay. Now, what actually we do first? Second step, object is changed as subject, right? Subject changed. You changed. Object changed as subject. And now, what is the third step? According to the tense, be form is used. What is the tense? V1. When V1 is used, what should be used? Am, is, are. So are is used for that subject you, right? You go with are, isn't it? So actually are should be used here, you are. But as this is question sentence, interrogative sentence, instead of using you are, we just using are. You. Are you? Are you helped? Again, V1 becomes V3. After V3, by. And last, Raju becomes Raju. Raju cannot become him. If name is given, again name should be written. So, are you helped by Raju? Again, one more question. Do they invite him? Do they invite him? So, subject they invite V1, him object. Him becomes as he. He. As per the sentence, B form is used. V1. So, is should be used. Actually, he is should be used. But as it is interrogative, I used in the initial position. Is he. Invite becomes V3. After V3, by. They becomes them. Again, question mark. Passive voice. Now, if you have doubt in any of the kinds of sentences here, you can ask me. Or else I need to tell you here some more complicated words, sentences to change. If you have any doubt, I'll tell you. If not, I just resume the same by giving some more critical sentences. Okay, no doubt. Let me give you some more examples. Just two. She always likes me. She always likes me. Right? Now, how do we change? So this is remaining part of the sentence. This is subject, likes, verb, me object. So me is turned into I. Right? As per the sentence, B form is used. Here V1 or V5. So am is are. am I used because I is the subject, right? And next step, V3 is used. V3 should be turned into, sorry, V1 should be turned into, or V5 should be turned into V3. Liked. I am liked. After V3, by. After by, subject she becomes her. Okay, it is actually. Then where we should write always? Always is extra, I mean remaining part of the sentence, right? Generally, it is used after helping verb, right? I am always liked by her. Or else, the most preferable place for this adverb to use is after be form, after helping verb. Or else we can also use I always am. I always am liked by her. Or else it can be used, after am. I am always liked by her. Okay. Next. Let me give you one more sentence. He generally offer his helping hand to the needy. He generally offers, sorry. Why? Because generally is used only in simple present. And when simple present is given, and when subject he is used, there should be V5, not V1. So he generally offers his helping hand to the needy. To the needy means the people who are in need, right? Now, can you change this sentence? Can you unmute yourself and change this one? You don't want to change, or you don't know how to change? If you don't know how to change, then you should have a doubt. When you have a doubt, you should have asked me. If you did not ask me any doubt, I just, continue the same frequency of explanation. Do I go in the process? Do I go in that way? If you remain silent, I just accept your answer as yes.
No, sir.
Okay, then tell me if you have any doubt, or if you are able to change the sentence, you can change.
I'm not
Feel
able
free
to
to answer.
change.
Come again. I didn't hear you.
I'm not able to answer this.
So you are unable to answer this.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Let me tell you, analyzing this. Let me tell you, separating the parts of the sentences. First of all, what are the 6 steps? We have come to know. The first step is to identify subject,
Subject, verb,
right?
object.
Verb, object. What is the verb? Offers. And what is the object here? Because this sentence is lengthy. Somehow lengthy comparing to these examples. Okay. Now, if you are unable to recognize an object, then you need to question what or whom. He generally offers what? He generally offers what? His helping hand. His helping hand, entire phrase, his object. We should not take as only his or helping or hand. What is answer that we are getting? He offers what?
His helping hand.
Yes, this is the exact object. So we recognize this as object. Then to the needy, what? Remaining part of the sentence. Where we need to write this one, I'll tell you. So when something is given after the object, when something is given after the object, in the passive voice, again in the passive voice, we use the same after the object. Whatever given after the object in the active voice, in the passive voice itself, in the passive voice even, we use the same place. But when in the middle of the sentence something is given as remaining part of the sentence, remaining part of the sentence means excluding subject, verb, object. Excluding subject, verb, object, everything, every word or phrase is considered remaining part of the sentence. When something is given as remaining part of the sentence in middle of the sentence, I already told you, it can be used as after B form or before B form. Okay, but when something is given as remaining part of the sentence after object or at the end of the sentence, we can also use the same in the passive voice at the end of the sentence. Okay, so that let me change this one, right? His helping hand.
Helping hand.
Yes. So subject is changed as object. His helping hand is changed as subject. Object is changed as subject. Then B form is used. What is the B form? Helping hand means it. It goes with is.
Is.
It goes with is. Right? His helping hand is. Now, so here remaining part of the sentence. Generally. Generally. Right? Now V3 becomes offered.
Offered.
V3. Now after V3, position by. After by, subject is changed as object. He becomes him. Now at the end, the needy is given as remaining part of the sentence. Now we can use the same here. The needy. Okay. Let me repeat you. Let me repeat the same with you, right? So when remaining part of the sentence, remaining part of the sentence means excluding subject, verb, object. So if remaining part of the sentence is given after subject, right, it is used after be form in passive voice, right, after be form in passive voice. Okay, and when remaining part of the sentence is given at the end of the sentence in active voice, same place can be used in the passive voice. These two are something extra information than these basic sentences, right? These basic sentences, right? This is extra added. Okay, I told you if it is given at the end, we can use at the end in the passive voice even. If in middle like this, we should use it as in the place of before the V3 or after B form. Okay, so his helping hand is generally offered by him to the needy. This is the right one. And as I told you, this generally can also be used before the form. So His helping hand generally is offered. His helping hand generally is offered by him to the needy. This is the right passive voice for this. Okay. And if you have a doubt here, his, sir, his is given here, then can it be changed as subject like he? No, because his is not object. His is possessive form, possessive pronoun. So possessive pronoun is written as the same. So his is helping hand, right? So I'll give you one more example for this class like this. Girija usually cooks delicious food for the guests, right? So this is a sentence I have given. Now it is your time. It is your turn to answer for this. I think you should have ready with pen and paper. You need to write the sentence like this and change it on your notebook, right? And tell me. Thirty seconds for you for this. Ready?
Hello.
Will you answer for this? Let me know whether you are ready or not.
Yes, sir, but I don't.
You can't say no.
Correct or not.
Okay. Okay. If you have written, then let me know. What is the answer?
Delicious food is usually cooked by Girija for the guests.
Absolutely right answer. Certainly right. Certainly right. Right. So I think all of you are following me. Then shall we switch over to simple past?
Okay, sir.
Right. So if you want some more examples, right, then we will practice tomorrow.
Okay,
But
sir.
let me tell you two examples in the simple past tense. Whatever the tense is given, whatever the sentence is given, the same 6 steps should be used. Same 6 steps should be kept in mind. If you keep in mind these 6 steps, including this table, those 6 steps and this table are enough to change any active voice sentence into passive voice. No doubt. Without having a doubt, you can simply change anything else. Right? See here, I told her, I subject, told verb, told V2, her object. Her becomes she as subject, right? Was is used because V2. Why? Because V2 was. And why only was? Why not were? Because she is singular. So was. She singular. So was. Told V2. V2 and V3 form, both of them are same. So I told again. Told again. She was told. After V3, by. After by, subject is changed as object. I becomes me. That's it. Okay. And Ravali respected me. Ravali respected me. Subject, verb, I mean V2, object. I, again, singular, was respected. V3, by Ravali. I was respected by Ravali. Simple. Okay. So you please keep in mind this table and these 6 steps. Then we will rock the show of tomorrow. Right. Hope you are enjoying the class. Right. I think we may take 1.5 hour to 2 hours for this active voice and passive voice, including exercises. Right. After we need to practice some complicated, some complex examples, so that only the complex examples will be asked in the examination. Right. We will practice them. After that we go for uh, degrees of comparison. After that direct indirect speech. After that simple compound complex. After that clause and phrase and gerund. Right. So meanwhile we go for close test, we go for spotting errors, we go for um, uh, completing the paragraph. Right. We go for jumble dialogue. Right. And we go for vocabulary. There we end the syllabus. Right. Shall I end the session?
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Right. See you. Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.